sometimes, bro, being a fan of MMA is so easy. Whenever there's like a good champion that we all like, so easy to be a fan of the sport. Whenever one of the homies, you know, like Dustin Poirier or Justin Gaethje are fighting, it's so easy to be a fan of the sport just because you know that their performances are going to be great. I don't know what's been going on lately, bro. These cards have been the biggest, like, I've said it before, bro, the biggest steaming piles of dog shit ever, dude. And it has nothing to do with my predictions going awry. I went literally like 5-7 yesterday. We'll get them next time, Tiger. But look, bro, that's besides the point. All I'm really going for, since I'm not putting money down, I just want to see the most like eventful outcome, to be honest. Being right isn't as much of an importance to me as just being able to be a fan of this whole thing, bro. And lately it's been like not impossible, but I remember back when Rumble Johnson was still alive, peace be with his soul, I used to watch Bellator cards sometimes, or like in the Leon Edwards Johnny Eblen fights, or my bad, Fabian Edwards Johnny Eblen fights. I would watch those cards, bro. And literally, UFC has been feeling a lot like One Championship, LFA, Bellator. If I were to show you an event from any of those other organizations and then this card, you probably wouldn't be able to guess like what organization I was talking about if I like Photoshopped the gloves off of their hands or something, the icons on the gloves in their hands. Is a problem. Is a big problem because the UFC is the flagship MMA promotion. The fighters in this organization are like, they're not doing it lately. They're just putting on a bunch of stinky performances. We got hardly any finishes last night. And whenever we did, a lot of it was just like a really sleepy fight before the finish, and it just dragged on. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. We don't have any big superstars right now, and it sucks, dude. There's not even a guy on, like, the Apex prelims who are just, like, trying to keep an eye out for. All of those guys who are, like, in that Joshua Van position were like, okay, these are just low-key prelims prospects that we need to be paying attention for. They're actually mainstream now, dude. And so now, like, who's going to replace those guys? Because these dudes are just giving us a bunch of just shitty-ass decisions, bro. And I don't really care about watching any of their fights, bro. This shit is horrible. So, I mean, we can go through the whole thing. I'm not going to go very far in depth. We're going to talk about each of the fights. Whether I got it wrong or right, the first two I definitely bombed on. But whatever, dude. Like, who would have seen it coming? I mean, I guess Talita Alencar versus Vanessa demopulous. Vanessa demopulous is actually garbage. I'm never picking her again. Like, Talita Alencar, she's not even a good wrestler, but she can control on the ground. She's a 6-time Jiu-Jitsu world champion. Vanessa demopulous was just, like, allowing herself to be taken down. And it was so easy. Every single time that Talita Alencar wanted to wrestle, it was free. Vanessa demopulous hit Talita Alencar with a really hard shot at the very beginning of the fight. It was a 1-2 that she stepped into and then rolled with. She couldn't find it literally a single time after that and was just getting wrestled. So, I mean, Talita Alencar, unanimous decision, horrible fight. The next one was going to be Uran Saltybaldiev versus Martin Buday. And I was going to try to get us all hyped for this Kyrgyz prospect just because, you know, that would have been fun, right? That would have been fun to have, like, a new heavyweight that, like, we all like and who's cool. That's fun, right? We're allowed to have fun here, right? You're going to let me have some fun, right, UFC organization? Whenever, like, a new, cool-looking prospect shows up, he's actually going to be good at fighting and win his fight, right? Right? No. Martin Buday completely outclassed Uran Saltybaldiev. I mean, Uran Saltybaldiev, his only problem was that he literally was he's a heavyweight, but he fought at like 170 pounds. Like, Martin Buday was like 350 pounds in the octagon whenever he rehydrated. Uran Saltybaldiev looked like a little boy compared to him, and he just got manhandled the whole time. He was even throwing really good. He, like, rocked Martin Buday at a certain point in the fight, but he was getting rocked at every single point in the fight. And Martin Buday would just jab him a few times and he'd start bleeding a ton. So it makes sense why he lost. That was a really stinky fight to watch because, I mean, what do you do with Martin Buday now, bro? Like, he sucks. We literally cut Jairzinho Rosenstruck. We have Martin Buday at number 15, a heavyweight, bro. Like, we're in hell, bro. I'm trying to tell you guys. We're really in hell. We need new fighters. The next fight was going to be Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. This fight was horrible because, I mean, after the first round, Victor Henry drops Pedro Falcao. Like, he literally caught him looking, bro, and he snipes him with this right hand, and then Pedro Falcao falls, and then he just pulls guard for, like, 30 seconds. And whenever he like gets dropped, then afterwards he just pulls guard until he's okay and stands. And the craziest part is, I mean, he was really in no real danger afterwards, but rounds 2 and 3 were like a lot more competitive than 1. So I was actually worried that Victor Henry might lose this fight against Pedro Falcao, even after dropping him in round 1. So I mean, horrible fight, bro. I don't even want to talk about it. Horrible fight. I'm just glad Victor Henry won. That was the first correct prediction I had on the card. The second one was Loma Lookbonmee. Istela Nunes actually looked not bad against Loma Lookbonmee, bro. Like, this is just a cursed card, bro. Loma Lookbonmee, she looked amazing in her other fights, bro. And then I guess the Denise Gomez one happened. She looked like she did against the Denise Gomez opponent, bro, where she like lost that fight. Istela Nunes, if she was just a little bit more dangerous, she could have definitely taken this one for sure. The next fight is gonna be Rhys Mckee versus Daniel Frunza, bruh. How I led. My prediction was, okay, Daniel Frunza will win this fight with the wrestling and just by the inside boxing, right? But Rhys Mckee throws this bolo uppercut with a lead hook afterwards, and he might catch Daniel Frunza with it and put him away. Bro, as soon as the bell started, he was hunting that combo the whole time. And he finally lands it, and it begins like this finishing sequence that doesn't really like lead to a proper like stoppage. But they make it in the corner after the first round, and Rhys Mckee is beating up Daniel Frunza so much, the doctor literally calls off the fight. And to be fair, that was the most like damage I've ever seen a fighter take. Where this is kind of funny because like the refs, they kind of know these fights are sucking, so I think they're letting us get like some consolation violence out of some of these finishes where like they're letting these dudes get beat up way too much. Daniel Frunza low-key got beat up way too much. There's another guy on the card too. I think it was Romius Cortavious up the card, bro. He got beat up way too much. And the refs low-key, they're just trying to give us something. And I respect those guys, honestly. But that's going to take us on to the next fight. Rhys Mckee does win. Call it an upset. It was. Honestly, it was. I mean, it was like a perfect victory. He took no damage, so whatever. Going on to the next fight, Dione Belbita versus Diane Barboza. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say much about this at all. I said that Diane Barboza is a grappler. She's probably going to be better at Diane Belbita at striking. I mean, not like marginally worse than her, I guess. So, I mean, that was kind of the case. She was like, they're about equal in striking. Diane Barboza could wrestle whenever she wanted. She won the fight. Easy. Torrez Finney fought Robert Valentine. And this is where I'm going to start crying, you guys. Like, this is where I'm going to start complaining. And I'm going to start fucking, like, being vocal about how I don't like what's going on, bro. Torrez Finney sucks. Bro, he's not good, bro. He's not good. And low-key, like, if this was a 5-rounder, Robert Valentine would have won this fight, bro. This guy is not conditioned to 5 rounds. His style is not, like, developed to incorporate as much offense as he needs to win fights, bro, in the UFC. He was just wrestling the whole time. And there was no, like, damage that was going down. It wasn't even, like, Dagestan. It was just literally American Dagestan game plan. He literally tried to just Khabib a guy with a collegiate wrestling skill set. And, I mean, I guess it did kind of work. But in the 3rd round, he was getting lit up, dude. And he was the only one who was really, like, bloody and battered at the end. And he really just won on control time. And that's not what we wanted to see, Torrez Finney. You were supposed to knock this guy out. So, do I care about his next fight? No. Not really, bro. But give it some time, bro. He's going to have the UFC gold. Somebody needs to edit Kamaru Usman's belt and shoulder over Torrez Finney, bro, after yesterday's performance. Because it's really only a matter of time before he makes it to... Yeah, he would beat up Duplessis, bro, easy. I'm going to match make Duplessis and Torrez Finney in another video. The next fight, Ode Osbourne versus Luis Gurule. I mean, in retrospect, bro, me not picking Ode Osbourne was literally just hating, to be honest. And I'm sorry. Luis Gurule was a favorite into this fight, but, I mean, Ode Osbourne does have quick hands, and he does drop people, like, pretty recurringly in the first round of their fights. I think he dropped Manel Cap in the first round of their fight and then got finished later on, which, I mean, it's hard to count on him to not do that. He dropped Ronaldo Rodriguez and then lost that fight, bro. So, I mean, just because he dropped Luis Gurule, even in real time, whenever Ode Osbourne had him, like, on the canvas, like, swimming around, trying to, like, get back to his consciousness, I was like, Luis Gurule still might win this fight as he's like getting finished, because I know Ode Osbourne doesn't do that very well. So he got a performance of the night. It was super easy for him. He like was talking about how he wanted to stay calm during the whole thing and then just set up his shots and look for the knockout. He was honestly like, one thing that I will say is whenever a fighter gets a win on a main card and it's like a really big high stakes fight for them. I mean, this honestly did matter a lot for Ode Osbourne because he has been losing a fair bit. And I mean, this is kind of like him earning like his right to stay. So for him to not have like broken down in tears and be like, oh, this means so much to me and I fight so hard. Like he just won the fight and he was like, the whole time in there, I was just trying to stay calm and see everything. And he was just like talking. Like it was honestly really cool. So honestly, I'm kind of like a fan of Ode Osbourne a little bit. I'm going to say it, bro. I think that he's all right, to be honest, because I think that like post-fight interview where he was just talking as if he had just like, bro, he literally talked about this fight like it wasn't nothing, bro. It was literally like he was in the Xbox party chatting with DC. It was so casual. So yeah, I like Ode Osbourne. That was cool. That was a nice performance. Bro, this honestly was the worst performance of the night, bro. I wish it... If I could say worst performance of the night, most disappointing, Gerald Meershaert versus Brad Tavares. Gerald Meershaert sucks, bro. This is an Alexei Olenek variant. This guy is Jacare Souza. He's Jacare Souza. Gerald Meershaert is literally Jacare Souza if he was like 30 years older before he retired, bro. Bro, how did this guy get so much worse at striking? Gerald Meershaert was never the best striker, but dude, like, I think that Reinier de Ridder fight, I should have paid more attention to it. Because in that fight, bro, he made Reinier de Ridder look like Muhammad Ali. And Reinier de Ridder sucks at striking, dude. So, I mean, I could have definitely seen the writing on the wall. Brad Tavares wins, but I just really didn't want it to be this way. So, I mean, I just decided that I would pick Gerald Meershaert. So, it didn't happen. Sucks. I'm probably never going to pick Gerald Meershaert ever again to win a fight. That's for the rest of these fighters, dude. If you lost on this main card, bro, and I like thought in my head that you were a lock, I'm never picking you ever again, bro. Cortavious Romius is the next example of this, bro. Like, what the heck, bro? He was supposed to be a grappler, and he just got backpacked immediately by Changho Lee. And then Changho Lee transitions into mount and just starts elbowing this guy to death, bro, and he's bleeding so much. Changho Lee wins performance of the night just because Cortavious Romius shows like different signs at different points of this sequence that's finishing the fight of fighting back, so the ref lets him stay in the fight, bro. And it is so crazy how much he is getting hit and how much he is bleeding, bro, before they stop it. And I'm waiting for like, we all know what like finishes up against the cage look like, right? With like TKOs. Most of the time, whenever it's like punches, it's like the side punches and they're covering up like this. And whenever they do this, the ref stops the fight, right? Or from mount, they'll do the thing where like they drop a couple of elbows and then they'll lean into the elbows and then come up. And that's how you know that the fight is about to be stopped. So I was just waiting on that to happen the whole time. Changho Lee wasn't doing that, so it just kind of looked like he was like working and advancing, but he was actually hurting Cortavious Romius the whole time. So this took place for like the entire second round, bro. So like 3 minutes of Cortavious Romius just getting sliced open with elbows, dude. I wonder what this guy looks like today, bro. He took a lot of damage, but I was horribly wrong. I mean, this guy's a grappler, so like, how are you getting done up like that by Changho Lee, bro? Absolutely ridiculous. Horrible to watch, honestly. It says KO TKO, but like it wasn't even that big of a deal, to be honest. It wasn't very exciting at all. Speaking of not very exciting, bro, this main event and this co-main event were horrible, bro. Horrible. Joanderson Brito, I will never pick you to win another fight. Ever again. You will never win another fight. I've decided in my head I will never pick him to win another fight. If you can't beat Pat Sabatini, bro. And I'm not even like ruling out the fact that Pat Sabatini is actually a very skilled grappler and he's dangerous. But dude, that's what we all thought of Joanderson Brito. He was supposed to be the threat, bro. on the feet. He was supposed to be the nasty and vicious striker. On the ground, he was supposed to be the finisher who goes for blood chokes and snatches arms, bro. And he's creative with it too, his offense. But you know what he's been looking like lately? He's been looking like a hype job. A guy who we gave a bunch of hype and who's not ready to do anything behind it. And that sucks, bro. That really sucks because we need cool featherweights. As the champion leaves the division, we need more guys getting to the title. Pat Sabatini is alright. He's a good grappler. He's dangerous, but he's old. And we've seen his chin get busted a few times too. Because he's old. This guy's name, like, Tubarão. Like, bro, honestly, that really makes me upset, bro. That really makes me upset that I can't, like, be a fan of Joanderson Brito whenever he's fight Pat Sabatini and be like, okay, yeah, he's gonna win this fight, like, for sure. Like, there's, like, in my head, there's that inkling of, like, you know, this guy might get exposed right now by Pat Sabatini. Like, bro. And that's why we love Ilya. Is because, dude, like, if you're a fan of Ilya Topuria, yeah, sure, he's gonna go knock that guy out. You can just say that. You just talk about it. Just say it. Yeah, he's gonna go knock him out. Sure, Sean O'Malley, if he does win fights, it's by knockout. So you could be like, yeah, he's gonna knock this guy out, sure. Joanderson Brito, yeah, in this Pat Sabatini fight, he's gonna knock this guy out, you know? He's gonna knock him out. I, like, in my head, like, my nose is growing, bro. And you could say that about any of these fucking prelim fighters lately, bro. Like, just decisionators, all of them. It sucks so badly. It sucks so bad. It sucks so bad, honestly. And it's hurting the sport. This shit is keeping us small. It's keeping me, bro, literally, UFC shitty fight night cards are keeping you big as hell. If you're trying to lose weight, this is what's keeping you big as hell, consuming this content. And the fact that Dana White keeps on putting it together. And this main event, bro, this main event sucked donkey nuts, bro. And everyone booed Lerone Murphy at the very end of the fight because it fucking sucked. Bro, Josh Emmett came out, and he honestly looked better than Lerone Murphy at the very beginning of the fight. He was in on these double legs, and he was low-key just, like, heaving Lerone Murphy into the air and, like, power double and power single legging him. Wrestling, getting to positions, not really doing much offensively from them. Lerone Murphy was kind of just sticking and touching. This was literally just a point match, bro. And Lerone Murphy won the point match against Josh Emmett. The only thing that made it a little bit more convincing for Lerone Murphy was early on there was a head clash and then an elbow that landed, and the combination of the two strikes did open up Josh Emmett. So he was bleeding like for pretty much the entire rest of the time. Whenever they would clinch, he would rub his forehead up against Lerone Murphy's head or like shoulder or something, and then that cut would open, and then the blood, like, mixed with the striking of Lerone Murphy, looked like he was winning more than he actually was, bro. But, dude, this fight sucked, bro. It was 25 minutes of blah. And I get it, Josh Emmett is a dangerous opponent. But, dude, Lerone Murphy, I mean, bro, like, dude, Josh Emmett is 40, bro. So Josh Emmett is 40. Lerone Murphy, 33. 33, wants to represent Manchester, England. I'm not sure if they have a front runner. He's a black dude, so I mean, like, I'm not really sure what that's worth to them over there, but being the first and also black doing stuff in America is a big deal. So, I mean, dude, is that really how you want to represent yourself in front of the world and in front of God? I don't know. Because it really feels like, lately, bro, with these main events, it kind of feels like we've all been losing. No matter who wins or loses, like the actual main event, you and I are going to lose. And that's going to be a guaranteed thing. Because we're going to have to watch one of the worst fucking fights we've ever seen in our entire lives. Every single weekend. And we have to be like, damn, you know, that was a really bad fight. And then just kind of move on and try to forget. And then next week, bro, what if those fights are ass? I'm going to try to get excited for 314. But, dude, we're all expecting Volk to get knocked the fuck out, bro. So imagine if the entire card fucking sucks and then Volk just gets knocked out. How would that make you feel? I kind of want to just end the video right there, bro. With just, like, a thought-provoking, like... Bro, imagine if UFC 314 is literally just this card again, and then Volkanovski gets fucking slumped, bro. Just think about how that make you feel. Honestly. Because... I'm not sure if this floodgate that they've built that keeps all of these like ass prospects inside of the apex can contain just the fact that all the fights have been bad lately, and we're getting run off into like our numbered cards of just this level at which they've been competing that's just been so shit. Just decisions, fighters who are supposed to be like competing at a high level just sandbagging us, bro. Dana White Contender Series prospects who are just don't deserve contracts, bro, and who we just don't need to be watching fight because they're just ass. I don't know how to fix this, bro, to be honest. I'm gonna give it some thought. I might make a video on it, to be honest, but like, dude, like, it's a problem. It's getting to be like an actual issue, because like these cards are like anything is better than nothing at all, and I'm gonna watch fights no matter what, but like it feels like cruel and unusual punishment. I feel like a prisoner getting neutral loaf whenever they give me Josh Emmett versus Theron Murphy on a Vegas Apex Fight Night card. So I mean, I'm calling to anyone, bro. Whoever has more influence than I do, Lucas Tracy, MMA Guru, other YouTube content creators in this space, bro, please, like, fix this shit, bro. Like, fix it. Because right now, I can't even convince people who are trying to get into the sport that this shit was ever good at a certain point. Because I don't even remember when the last good, like, event was. The last main event that didn't end in a fucking decision with a ton of wrestling, bro. Maybe Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway, but that feels like that was, like, whenever they built the pyramids at this point. So, we gotta do something. We gotta do something. Maybe we need to, like, maybe MMA Guru needs to raise his bounty, bro, on fighters. Maybe we need to do bounty boards for fighters, bro, where they can just take contracts. We gotta get some finishes, bro. I don't know what's going on. These cards, they hurt my stomach, bro. So, I'm gonna have predictions for 314, like, pretty soon. I'm going to be breaking down more other prior announced main events. I still have recordings of those I'm going to upload, so keep an eye out for that. I said that I would do a card recap, so I mean, this is going to be the card recap, but a larger rant about just why UFC kind of fucking sucks right now, bro. So hopefully it made sense. I mean, it's kind of early, so hopefully I'm not just like talking shit that's incomprehensible, but I feel like I am, like, just kind of making like points that are like able to be followed. This is rough, dude. And if you sat down and you watched the card yesterday, you know exactly what I'm talking about, too. Like, it feels like abuse. So, hopefully we can get back to it, because it's not good, bro. It's not good. So, please like, comment, and subscribe if you did make it to this point in the video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day.